The topic is introduction to MATLAB for the engineering application. As sir discussed, we know that MATLAB is a widely used tool and basically it is a soft computing tool. So today we'll learn how you can use the MATLAB. We'll also learn in some basics how you can use the MATLAB for the two things, computing and for the plotting. So I know that for the civil engineering, these two applications are very important. So just I will start my presentation. So this will be the flow of the today's session. First, I will go for the MATLAB overview, how MATLAB started. Then the very important tool MATLAB. So how you can use the MATLAB desktop for a different windows. How you can working with the matrices, how you can handle the graphics and flow control in MATLAB. So basically, it is a the session in a session is how you can wisely use the MATLAB, because many of you know the MATLAB, but today I will show you some of the very important attributes of the MATLAB. Okay, so if you are having, if you can do the practice simultaneously, we'll also go for the practice also. Okay, so you know what is the history of a MATLAB. So basically MATLAB, it's abbreviated word. So it consists of a two word, matrix laboratory. So basically when MATLAB was invented, it was created for the matrix solution. Matrix solution means what? If you are having a very large matrix, for an example, if I say if you have a 50 cross 50 matrix, so we know that mathematics means what? Mathematics cannot do this kind of the large complex calculation. So when MATLAB started, the intention was to solve the matrix application. So from the name itself, it is known as the matrix laboratory. So whenever you are working with the MATLAB, you know that MATLAB always they take in the form of the row and column. So whenever you represent any vector, any polynomial in the form of a vector and polynomial, it is considered as the matrix. So basically it is used to solve for the matrix solution, matrix application. But nowadays matrix, your MATLAB is used in all engineering application. So MATLAB primarily developed by the Clive Muller in the 1970. It was originally written to provide easy access to the matrix software, and this matrix software was developed by the LeanPack. Means what? There was a two company, LeanPack system and eigen value system package. So these two projects, initially the matrix software was developed to provide a easy access. Means what? You can use this matrix software for this project. So it was invented in the 1970. After the 1970, again it was rewritten in a C programming in a 90s 80s with the more functionality, which includes the plotting routine. So you know that C++ or these software which are having, they are lacking only in a one technology, and that technology is graphics. But now you know that MATLAB is having a very powerful graphics capability. So I will show you the application of a MATLAB. So there is a two mainly application, computing and the plotting. So plotting, it's a very powerful tool that you can use for the any complex calculation. After the 1980s, the mathwork.inc, it was created in 1984 for the market. It was available in 1984, and from that continuously we are using the MATLAB. So I think you all of you aware about the MATLAB since 2000. We know it's since 2000 or before that, but basically we are using the MATLAB for our calculation, for our plotting. You can also use for the debugging also, and you can also use for the any algorithm generation. Okay, so just I will go through the SWOT analysis of a MATLAB. So basically MATLAB is used as the calculator. So one of the application of a MATLAB is a calculator. Calculator means what? Is not a just a calculator, but is a complex calculator. Or you can consider the MATLAB as the programming language. Okay, so it is behave as the calculator for a very large complex calculation, or you can use as a programming language also. It combines the power of a calculation and graphic plotting. So we know that these two are very important thing. For an example, if you want to develop any project, so to develop that you need a two thing. First you need a calculation. Calculation means what? You need a some calculating power, and that calculation complex calculating power that is provided by this MATLAB. So once you have a data, once you have in the form of a matrices, at that time it is very easy to plot it. So basically the power of a MATLAB, it's of a two thing. Calculation means what? If you are having very complex equation, very complex very complex formula, so at that time it becomes easy because it solves in a fractions of second. And second, you can plot anything with the help of the graphic facility. The another advantage of a MATLAB is it is relatively easy to learn. Why it is easy to learn? Because many of the command macros or syntax are in the form of English, so you can easily learn all the syntax. After that, it is interpreted means whatever you are write in a MATLAB, it will be compiled by the compiler, but it depends on how you are going the input. So if your input is wrong, you will get a wrong output. So many times it is referred as interpreter, not a compiler, because for an example, if you are giving a wrong input, you will be having the wrong output. So it does not solve your, it does not show you where you have the right algorithm, but it interpreted means what? Whatever input you have written, that will be interpreted by your compiler. Now next one, it is errors are easy to fix. Errors are easy to fix means what? They have an algorithm. So from that algorithm, if you are having some error or warning, you can easily find the warning and you can solve it. Now some of the weakness of this tool, it is not a general purpose programming language. Why it is not a general purpose programming language? Because we know that we have a C++, Fortran. So all these are a basic programming language. You can develop any algorithm from this basic language, but your MATLAB is not a general purpose programming language. If you have developed any algorithm in a MATLAB, you cannot run in a C++ in a Fortran. So it is not suitable for other application. So if you have developed any algorithm, any project with the help of a MATLAB, you need to run a MATLAB compiler only. You cannot run your MATLAB project on any other platform. Now you required a specific MATLAB command for the uses. This what MATLAB uses its own function. MATLAB uses its own command, its own packages. So you cannot use the another syntax of a C++ and Fortran. But some of the basic function are same, because many of the programming language you will find a similar function. But same function you cannot use, MATLAB function you cannot use in other two. Now, what are the different opportunity or how you can use the MATLAB for your engineering application? So it is more convenient for the numerical analysis and the linear algebra. But nowadays MATLAB is used in almost in all application, all engineering application, and it is frequently and widely used for the in engineering community. But only the weakness is MATLAB, it's a method you need to purchase it. What are the method? You can see the competition. So in a MATLAB, we have another tool that is a Mathematica. So Mathematica is also used for the numerical analysis and solving of the linear algebra. The another software similar MATLAB, you know, that is the Scilab. So why Scilab is nowadays used? Because it is an open source, freely available. These similar syntax are available in a Scilab also. The another tool which is known as the Octave. So just like a MATLAB, there is another tool that is the Octave and RLab. So this is also a popular tool which is used for the numerical analysis, and most of the engineers are using the Scilab, RLab for the any complex calculation or for the graphing facility. So how the MATLABs are used? So basically the MATLAB has a 4 functionality, which is a powerful functionality. You can use the MATLAB for the computation. It's a very important attribute of a MATLAB. Computation means what? If you are having a very complex algorithm, very complex equation, you can use the MATLAB platform to compute such equation, or you can use the MATLAB to solve that algorithm. For second one, you can create any program, any algorithm with the help of a MATLAB. So it also provides the programming environment. So second one, you can also use as a calculator, complex calculator. You can also develop some programming in the MATLAB environment. Third one, visualization. Visualization means what? Graphing facility. So MATLAB it has powerful graphing facility. And fourth one, it is an inbuilt editing and debugging tool. You can also generate the OOPS programming, object oriented programming, with the help of the MATLAB. So many engineers, they are using a MATLAB for the any development of any algorithm to solve any complex algebraic complex equation, for the data plotting, for the matrix operation they are using. So you can use a MATLAB for any engineering application, and nowadays MATLAB is used widely across the engineering community. Okay, so this is the some of the toolbox which is used by the engineering community. Control system, control system, it's a widely used by the mechanical engineer, civil engineer, electrical engineer. So for that we have a some toolbox are available with a MATLAB. So control system toolbox. So you can use this dedicated toolbox for all control system application. If you are a electrical engineer, you can use the power system, and the name of this MATLAB toolbox is same power system toolbox. So any power system related analysis and design you can carry it out with the help of the same power system. Third one, model predictive. So this is also used by many engineering. For an example, electrical, EC, civil, they are also use the model predictive toolbox. Predictive toolbox means what? You can make as an ideal model. Okay, so you can make with this toolbox model predictive toolbox. If you are in a communication, means what? EC engineer, they are using the communication toolbox. They are using a filter design. So for the design of analog and digital filter, they are using the filter design. Signal processing. Okay, so if you want to process with some signal, so this is also one of the toolbox are available. But nowadays MATLAB are having a many toolbox. So for an example, if you want to use as a mathematician, so curve fitting toolbox are also available, right? So MATLAB has developed a dedicated toolbox for each engineering application. So you can just search in a MATLAB by using the version. If you want to sort version, so it will give the available toolbox list for your MATLAB. Okay, so this is the some of the demonstration of the toolbox are available in a MATLAB. Okay, now very important thing, how you can use the MATLAB desktop. Okay, so I will show you the MATLAB desktop. So basically in a MATLAB you will find this 4 basic window. So first window, that is known as the command window. So here you can say this is the command window. So many times you will work with this command window. Second one, that is a command history. Command history means whatever you have entered into the command window, automatically all this function command, it will be saved with a date and timestamp in a command history. Third window, that is known as the workspace. Workspace means whatever you have entered a variables, polynomial or matrices, that will be saved in a workspace. So you can use the workspace for the any plotting application, for any array calculation, you can use the workspace variable. And fourth one, that is a current directory. Current directory means what? This is the directory where currently you are working. So for an example, if you want to run any file, your file must be in a current directory only. So I will show you the side by side. I will use the MATLAB and I will show you the capability of each window. Okay, so here you can see this is the this is known as the command window. Okay, what is the function of a command window? Command window means what? For where you can write all this command. Okay, so here it's a command window. The name suggests itself command. So if you want to write any command, any function, you can easily write in a command window. So whatever you write in a command window, it will display the answer in a command window. Okay, so this is known as the command prompt. So for an example, if I am writing the a equal to 2. So what is the meaning of a equal to 2? We are assigning a 2 to the variable a. Okay, so now the command window. So I can enter any variable. So a is a variable. So I can assign any variable. So it will display the results of that variable. For an example, if I am assigning a b that is equal to the 0.1 colon 1 colon 10. So if I assign any, means what, b it's a vector. So if I assign a point 1 to 10 with the incremental of a 1, so b it's a vector. So this vector you can see the results of this in a command window only. Okay, so the first window, that is a command window. Second window, that name is, that is known as the workspace. Workspace means what? Whatever the variable you will use for your function file, for your MATLAB file, so automatically it will be saved in a workspace. Third thing, that is a you can see it's a current directory. So current directory means what? Current directory means what? Currently you are working in that directory. So to run any file, for an example, this is the name of a file: new one, new two, user one, tutorial 1, 2, 3, 4. So all file must be, to run that file, it must be in a current directory only. And fourth window, that is known as the, just I will show you the fourth window also. So this fourth window, that is known as the command history. Okay, so command history means what? Whatever you write, it will keep the history of all this command. So you can also select the layout, default layout, right? So first one, it's a editor. Here you can use the as a editor. It's a command window, it's a workspace, and here you can see the current directory. Fine. So I will go for this four window and I will show the function of each. Okay, so how the command, we can use the command window. The first thing, you can use the command window to enter the variable and to run the function file and m file. Okay, so the first basic function of the command window is, for an example, I want to run the t, that is equal to the 0 colon pi by 30 colon 2 into pi. So for an example, this is a t vector. So you can run this variable. So t is a variable, and this variable consists of a 0 to 2 pi with increment of a pi by 30. So you can use the command window to run the variable. This is the first one. Second one, I will also write like this: c, that is equal to the zeros. Okay, I'm assigning a zeros of a 2 comma 3. Means what? I want to create a vector of a zeros with a 2 by 3. 2 by 3 means what? That will be a 2 row and 3 column. So you can enter the variable in a command window. Third thing, just I'm writing the another one: d, that is equal to the ones of 3 by 3. So it will create a ones vector of a 3 cross 3 matrices. Okay, for an example, just I'm writing, it's a magic of 4. Okay, so magic of 4. So just you can write magic of 4. So here you can say, whenever we are not assigning any variable, MATLAB automatically assign its own variable. Because see here, previously I've assigned all the name of the variable a. I've assigned a 2 into a. I've assigned a sum vector 0 to 10 with increment of 1 in a b. I've used a t is 0 to 2 pi with increment of pi by 30. So it's a t vector. Here I have defined the variable cd. I have defined, but I have not defined here. I have defined just a function magic. It's a function of a MATLAB. So I define the magic of a 4. So if we are not defining any variable name, MATLAB automatically assign the name. So you know the, it's a abbreviated word, means what? It's a abbreviated word of a answer. So MATLAB uses abbreviated word. Okay, always it is use the abbreviated word. Okay, so for an example, another thing I'm using y, that is equal to, for an example, y that is equal to, I'm using the y that is equal to the x, or y that is equal to t. So it will create all this variable. Means what? You can see the output of that variable in a command window only. So the basic function of the command window is to run the variable. Okay, so you can run any variable. For an example, equal to 2, b equal to ones of 2 comma 2. You can run any function. Okay, so I will show you the function. Okay, now function, what do you mean by the function? So for an example, this is my function file. So here I've created one function, and the name of this function is val1. Okay, here means what? It will calculate the value of val1, and val1 is nothing but it is a x square plus sine of x minus cos 2f. So for an example, this is my formula, means what? This is my equation, and I want to calculate the this value for each value of x. So I've written okay, VAL1 means what? It's a name of the equation VAL1, and VAL1 will calculate x square plus sine of x minus cos 2x, and I need to calculate for each value of the x. Okay, so the basic function of your command window is to run the function also. Okay, so how you can just, I will write it. So here you can write the name of a function. So here the name of the function is user1, right? So user1, it's a name of a function. Before that we need to define the value of x, because the argument is given user1 of x, it is given argument. So just I will define the x is nothing but equal to 0 colon 1 colon 10. So just I'm defining the value of x, and I want to calculate the value of VAL1 val1. Okay, so here I will write the name of the user function. So user of 1 and x. Okay, so here you can see as just I have written the value of a user1. So user1 is nothing but it is a name of the function, and this function will solve this equation. So this is known as the user defined function. So if you have any user defined function, you can easily run the user defined function in a command window. So command window is used to run the function also. For an example, if you have any function, I want to write the sine of x. So sine of x, it's a function created by the MATLAB. Sine, it's a function of a MATLAB. So sine is also a function. You can see the result of that function in a command window only. So you can run the any command, any function file in a command window. If you want to run any M file, so you can see the results or the output of that file in a command window only. Okay, so for an example, this is my file. Here it says some function, it's written the value of x, it's a 0 to 2 pi with increment of pi by 30. It says sine plotting sine of x. Second plot, it's a sine x plus 2 pi by 3 means what? It's a sine x plus 120 degree. Third plot, it's a x plus 4 pi by 3, so it's a 240 degree. So we have a 3-phase and I want to plot it. So this is my MATLAB file and I want to run it. So just I will go to the editor and I will run my file. Okay, so here you can see all this value y1. So this is a name tutorial one. Here y it's a sine of x. It will calculate all value sine of x, y1 sine of x plus 2 pi by 3, y2 that is equal to sine of x plus 4 pi by 3. So all this value you can run with that, right? So you can get the output, means what, you can see the values of your M file also in a command window. So command window is basically used to run your function file. If you have any MATLAB file, if you have any function, so you can see the result or the output of that particular file in a command window. So you can easily see it. Okay, any doubt with this? Any doubt? Anyone is having doubt with this? Any participant is having the doubt how you can use the command window? So you can ask to me. Any doubt with this?
No, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay, next one. So this is the command window. So for all purpose, you can use the command window, right? Okay. The another, after the command window, we have the another window that is now named as the. So you can display the result, means whatever the function M file, or if you have any your function file, so you can see the output in a command window only. So basically the use of a command windows is to see the result, to display the output. So for that, its a name is the command means what, this is known as the command prompt. So this two arrow is known as the command prompt is what, this is the prompt where you can write all this command and you can see the result of that particular command. Okay, after that the another window, it's a command history. So what is the meaning of a command history? Means what, whatever you have typed the command, it will store the history of all command with a date and time. Okay, so I will show you. Okay, so this is known as the command history. Okay, so you go to this and you can see workspace. Okay, yeah, this is a, yeah, This is known as the command history. What is the meaning of the command history? So it will, for an example, it will keep the history of the all command which you have typed in your command window or you have run into your function file. So see, it will shows, for an example, it is at 12/7/2021 at 11:40 am. So you have run this version command, so it will save, it will shows you with a date and timestamp. Second one, for an example, today, it's a today is 25th November. Okay, so 25th November I've used all this command a equal to 2, b equal to 5, c. Okay, so you can see with a date and time date and timestamp. So it will keep a history of all the command which you have typed into the command window. Okay, how you can use all this? Okay, so for an example, if I want to create, so you can copy it, you can copy all this function. Okay, so with this command history you can cut it all the command, you can copy it, you can evaluate the selection also. For an example, I will evaluate some of the function. Okay, for an example, I want to run this all command. Okay, so just I will select it and evaluate selection. Evaluate selection means what? I have selected a few of the command and I want to evaluate it. Okay, so you can run, so just I have evaluated means what? I have run all this command, so you can see the result again into the command window, right? So the command history means what? It will keep the history of the command. So for an example, if you are having a some error in a some command, so you can repeat it. Okay, for an example, you have taken another value of x, but at that time you have an improved result, so you can further use this value of x. So command history means what? It will keep the history of all the command which you have entered into the command window. Okay, so this is the important of the command history. Okay, after that, so you can select one or more lines means what? You can select all this selection, you can cut, you can copy, you can evaluate, and you can create a m file from it. Okay, so just I will show you also. For an example, you want to create a m file from all this command, so you just select it, you can create it, and you can create a script. Okay, so just, okay, so this is your script is created, right? So I have selected all this function and this will create your script file. Script file means what? It is your MATLAB file. So this will create your MATLAB file directly from it. So you can use the command history for that purpose also. Okay, after the command history, another workspace, very important use of this workspace means what? We know that workspace means what? If you have run any function file, if you have run any variable, so automatically it will save in a workspace. Okay, so I will show you. Here it is known as the workspace. So workspace will show you the name of a variable which you have run through your function file, through your MATLAB file, or you have run into the command window. So you have run this ANS, B, C, D, I. So this is all the variable that you have used in your file or in a function file, or you have run through the command window. So this will be the variable of your function file, or it may be of your command window. So for an example, you can edit the variable also. Here a is, it's a 2 means what? Here it's a 1 cross 1 value, it's a 2. You can modify it. Okay, so if you double click on a, okay, now instead of that I will make this a 4 5. Okay, now so you can modify it also. Now a is, it's a 2 by 2 matrices, so you can use it. Okay, so now again, for an example, if you raise the value of a, so a will be, you can modify the variables of the particular vector. So you can directly use the workspace variable also. For an example, I want to plot the t, so this is a my t vector, right? So you can select the t and you can plot also. For an example, I've selected a t variable and I want to plot it. So you can also plot this variable. So this is also possible. Okay, so this is also possible with this variable. So you can use the workspace variable. You can use the workspace variable. You can also change the value of that workspace variable and you can plot it. Okay, so you can also use all this variable for the plotting purpose also, right? So this is a workspace. After the workspace, so you can use the workspace, you can add some variable to the workspace. by using the function running m file and loading saves workspace. Method you can add the variables to the vector or polynomial which is available in a workspace. You can also delete a sum variable from the workspace. This is also possible. Okay, so you can delete, also you can modify the values of the workspace variable. Okay, after that, current directory, it is very important. Current directory means what? If you want to run any file, for an example, I have this file tutorial1, I want to run that file. So to run that file, it must be in a current directory only. So for an example, currently I am working in E drive in this folder, and if you want, means what, if you want to run this tutorial 1 2 3 4 5, it must be in a current directory only. If it is not in a current directory, it will ask about the path. So you can also set the path from this. Okay, so you can add a path with this. So it will your path means what, you are adding a that particular path to the command window. Okay, to the your directory. So the condition is that to run any MATLAB file, it must be in a current directory only. Okay, so you can if you want to run any file, it must be in a current directory or on the search path. Means what, it must be in the same directory only. Now you can change or you can view the current directory by using this field. So it is also available in a MATLAB. For an example, you can change it. So for an example, if there is another file, for an example, there is another file, any other folder, so you can change from this field. Okay, you can change from it and you can search on the path, and that file must be in a current directory so that your file will be having the correct output. So the condition is that to run any file, it must be in a current directory only. It must be in a current directory only. Okay, so for an example, tutorial 1, it is in a current directory so that it will gives the answer. So first you can also change by using this field. You can also set the path in a current directory. So this is a basic four window of a MATLAB. You can use it. Okay, so first one, it's a command window. You can run any command, you can run any function, you can run any MATLAB file in a command window. You can view the answer in a command window. Command history means what, whatever you have run all this variable, all the command, it will be automatically saved as a history. You can view with a date and timestamp. You can cut, you can select all this, and you can make a script file from it. After that, workspace is very important because many times you need to deal with the data. So at that time you can use all this workspace variable, and you can use this workspace variable data for the plotting purpose, also for the any array making. So you can also use the workspace variable also. Okay, so this is a four basic window of a MATLAB. Okay, now the another facility or attribute of a MATLAB, it's a programming. So you know MATLAB provides a two kind of a programming. The first one, that is known as the MATM file. So any MATLAB file is saved with the extension .m. So here you have a MATLAB file. It's not any file you can see, it's a .m. It's a .m. It's a .m, meaning of that it is a MATLAB file. So if you are having any file with the extension of a .m, you need to understand it's a MAT file. It's a MATLAB file. Okay, so this is a MATLAB file. This is known as the MATLAB file. Now what is the M file? M file is nothing but you will be having a sequence of a or series of a some macros, some command for a specific purpose, for a specific task. For example, I want to create what is the value of A by B. Okay, so I have written a some code for that, script for that. Okay, so that script is known as the MATLAB file. So you can create the M file for any specific task, for any specific purpose. So that is known as the your MATLAB file. Second one, some, so I will show you the some MATLAB file with that. For an example, this is my MATLAB file. Okay, so this is a MATLAB file. I will show you the MATLAB file. Okay, so this is the MATLAB file. This MATLAB file is intended. Here you can write with this percentage to three-phase sine wave. Right, so this is a file to create all three different sine wave. Okay, so you can we have created this file. So this file is known as the MATLAB file. Okay, so x it's a value of a input vector. Y, I have calculated the y. I have plotted the value of x versus y. The another vector, it's a y1. So y1 that is equal to sine of 240 degree means what? Sine x plus 120 degree. It's a sine of x plus 240 degree. So there is a three wave. So these three wave basically I want to plot it. Okay, so this is my MATLAB file. So here you can say there is a series of command, series of the scripting are written to plot this sine. Okay, so this is for a specific task. So this specific task. So this is my three-phase wave. The MATLAB file is written for a specific purpose. So you can written over here. Okay, second one that is known as the function file. So function file, what do you mean by the function file? So function file is nothing but it is a user has created function. User has created this function. Okay, what is the meaning of the user? For an example, user has some equation. Sorry, and this equation is x into sine of x minus square root of x. So I have this equation and I want to solve for any value of x. So I have created one function. So if the user has created the function for its own calculation, so this is the user defined function. Okay, so how you can identify it? So any file, so this is file. For an example, this is file. So any file that start with the variable function, it's a keyword. Here the keyword is function. So any file that start with the keyword function, you need to understand it's a function file. Okay, now what is the syntax of this function file? So this function file started with a keyword function. Along with the function, you will be having an output argument. What do you mean by the output argument? Output argument means so this is the value I need to calculate, and this is the function I want to calculate. So I have written it's a value 1. I need to calculate a value 1. So this will be my output. I want to calculate this output, and here there is a name of your function file. So I would save this function as a user1. User1 means what? Some user has created this function file. Always you need to remember the name of the function file should be related to your function. Okay, for an example, if you have written some equation to solve the trapezoidal equation, so you need to solve that function file similar to the trapezoid, so that you may have idea okay, this function is used, user has created this function to solve this trapezoidal equation. So this is the name of file. So you have to save the file with this name on. So I have saved a user1. So user1, it's a name of a function along with the input argument. So x, it's a input argument, meaning of that whenever you run this function, you have to give the input as the x value. So if you give the value of x, it will calculate a user1. User1, what is the user1? So user1 is a output of a VAL1. So VAL1, what VAL1 will calculate? VAL1 will calculate x square plus sine of x minus cos into 2x. So this is my complex equation and I want to calculate this value of VAL1. So to calculate VAL1, I have created a function and name of this function is user1. So you need to remember, you have to save your file with that name of a function on them. Okay, so just if you write over here x, you can first you need to define the value of x, or okay, so just if you write a user1, and if you are not defining the value of x, it will ask a value. Okay, already we have given the value of x, so it will take the value of x by default and it will calculate a user1. So here you can say this is the output of your user1 or VAL1. This is the calculated value of your function. Okay, so this command window is used to run the function file only. So just I have taken this function and I can see what is the output of this, right? So this is my function. So this is known as the user defined function. So MATLAB also provides the facility to create your M file. So M file you will be having for a specified task. Function file means what? User has created this function file. So any doubt with this? Any doubt with a function file, or any doubt with this M file? Any participant is having any doubt with this? or
Sir,
you
is it necessary to give name user one
yeah
only?
yeah ma'am. I will show you one. I will show you one thing. See, I will show you how this will be here. See, one thing you need to remember, just I will show you the basic syntax of the function. So I can here write a help function, right? See, here you can see it's a function. Function, it's a keyword. You need to remember there is a two type of file. Any file that started with a keyword function. So you need to understand it's a function file. Number one, step number one. Step number two, along with this function keyword, you will be having an output argument. What does it mean? The output argument means what users are interested for that particular value on. So whenever you run this file, the intention is to calculate the output, and your output is written over here. So this is the output. Now the third thing, always you need to save the that file with a name of a function only. So here I have saved the file with a user one. So always you need to save the file with a user one only. What is the meaning of that? User one means what? This is the name of a function, and when you run it, it will call back what you have written. It will call back the value of val1. So this user one is created to calculate the value of a val1. So when you call this user one, means user one, you must have to save with the file name only. If you are not saved, for an example, just you write a user, okay, and I will run it. It will show the error. See, first one, your file name means what? Just you need to save again, but it will show always. It will show the error. You must have to save the name, function name, same as the your file name. Okay, so if your function name is user1, your file name should be identical. Both should be the same. If you are not doing this, it will show a warning. It will show the error. So it is compulsory. You need to save with the both name as identical. Okay, another thing, for an example, if you are also not giving the input, so it will show the not enough input argument. Not enough input argument means what? To run this function. For an example, to run this function user one, so you need to define the value of x. So you can define the value of x also like this: 0 colon 0.1 colon 2. So you can also define like this. Okay, but you need to give it. If you are not defining, for an example, just I will clear CLC and I will clear all variable, and I will run my function file user1. It will source not enough argument. Not enough argument means what? Here you have defined along with your function. This is a input argument. So you must remember, whenever you are running that met user function file, you have to give the input, to give the value of x only. So you can also define the value of x also here: 0 colon 0.1 colon 1. So this is your value of x. Now you can run the function file user1 of x. Okay, so it will give the answer. Okay, one more thing, this is a val1, that is the value of output that we are interested. So you can see the output also. Now you can use the plotting for the variable also. Okay, any other doubt from this?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, so you can create any MATLAB file, you can create a function file, but you need to remember there is a clear difference between that. Any function means what? Any file that started with this keyword, you need to remember it is a function file. So you can create any function file on it. And the syntax, only the syntax is just HAL function. So your syntax is very clear. You have to give the input argument. Okay, so this is for an example, if you are a more than one argument, so you can separate by a comma. So for an example, you have a two argument. Okay, so this equation is known as the state. The name of this function is state. So this state is used to calculate two value, mean and standard deviation. So these functions state, it's a interesting statics. So here these two value, as mean is calculated. Mean is nothing but it is the average of x comma n. And second equation is std standard deviation. So these function state is used to calculate a two output. So you can also, if you are having a more than one output, you can separate it by the comma. So this is known as the, you may have a n number of argument, output argument, and you may have a n number of input. For an example, your input may have a n number of input. So you can also consider t comma x, t comma x1 comma x2. So you can create any function file from it. Okay. So this is the syntax of a function file. It is very easy. You can build any function for your calculation. Just you need to remember, you need to save the function file with the name of a function only. It should be, your file name should be identical with a name of a function. Okay, so MATLAB also providing the programming environment. So this two programming environments are available in a MATLAB. Okay, now the matrices, it's a very important part because many of you may involve with the matrices. So at that time it is very important to know the attributes, how to work with the matrices. Okay, so it is very easy. Matrices method, it is a simple. For an example, I want to write the p that is equal to the 0 colon 0.1 colon 10. So here there is a one colon operator. Colon operator means what? I want to create a vector with a 0 to 10 with an increment of 0.1. So it's a incremental operator, and this incremental operator you can write like this. Okay, so this incremental operator is like initial value. You'll be having an initial value here, colon increment value, and you will be having the final value. So you can create this vector. So this is a p, it's a one vector. Here you can write the initial value, last one will be your final value, and you can define the increment value. So you can define any incremental value from this. So this is a one way to write the vector. Second one, for an example, I am the another vector. So you can write a simply, I want to write a 2, second element is a 4. So you can write separated by the space or separated by the comma. Third is a 6. You can space 8, space 10, 20, 50. So you will be having this. Okay. Now here you can say your R, it's a vector which is having the value of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 20, 50. Okay. Now MATLAB always take each variable as a column. It will take the column. Okay, I will show you. See, here you can write a t that is equal to 0 colon 0.1 colon 10, right? So here you can say MATLAB treated each variable as a column. So here I have written is 0. So means what, your variable will start, means what, it's a column 1 and the value of this column 1 is 0, and last is a 101. Last value is 101 value, and 101th value is a 10. So every time MATLAB takes every variable as a column. That's why it is known as the matrix, because it is in the form of a column only. It treats in the form of a column only. So it is, that's why it is written as the column 1 to 10. Means what, it start from the column 1. Column 1 is 0. After that 0.1, 0.2. Okay. So it will start like this. So MATLAB treats everything as a column only. For an example, you can also check it. I have t, means what is, I want to see the size of this t. So I can write a size of t. Okay, so this will be 1 row and 101 column. What is the meaning of that? I have written a 101. Okay, can you tell me anyone why it is written as a 101? Anyone, any participant, can you tell me why it is written as a 101? Hello. Hello. Am I audible, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Why it is written as a 1,101? Because it treats everything
number
as
of
a
columns.
Yeah. Always any variable MATLAB takes as a column. Okay, always. So it works in a column environment only. So that's why it is written as the column. So here written as the zero means so zero, first element always it is start from, but it treats as a column one. Okay, so it will be treated as a column one, and last one that will be the column 101, column 101. So that's why it is written as the, it's a size of a matrix is 1 cross 101, right? So 101 means what? There is a one row, there is a one row and 101 column. So there is a single row, it's a single row. Because why it is a single row? Because I have written as a 0 to 10 with increment of 0.1. So it's a single row, but there is a 101 column. Okay, now I will show you the another way. For an example, just I am defining a t that is equal to the 0. Now end of a row is denoted by the semicolon 2, semicolon 4, semicolon 6, semicolon 8, semicolon 10. So it's a 0 to 10, but here 0 to 10, that is a 0 means what? There is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is a 6 row, but there is a single column. So here you can write 2 and the row, 2 and the row. For an example, first row, end of a row is represented by this semicolon. So if you put the semicolon, MATLAB will automatically understand it's the end of a row. So as I've written a 0, after the 0 there is a semicolon, so MATLAB will understand it's the end of this row. So after the 0 there is another one 2. After that second row is over, third row will start. So you can write the matrices. So end of a row is represented by the semicolon. So T is nothing but it is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 row and single column. So you can also define the vector by using this two simple method. Okay, so easiest method to define the vector, either you can define by using the space, either you can define by the comma, either you can define by the semicolon. So these three special characters are used to define the vectors or polynomial. So you can also define this a comma 12 comma 10 comma minus 3. So you can define this. Okay, now another, so this is a matrix. You can also pick up any row and column. Okay, so for an example, I want to create a t of 2, which is the second variable of a t. Okay, so you can also write a t of 2. For an example, I want to write a t of last. So you can write a t of and. So this will be t of and. You can also write a t of and minus 1. So second last. So you can write a t of and minus 1. You can also create a t of 2 colon and. Okay, so it will only shows the second element to the final element, right? So your second element to the final element. Okay, so it will be created a 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, right? So you can also use this attribute to work with the matrices. Okay, so what is the motivation to work the matrices? For an example, if you want to pick up any array, so you can pick up by using this indexing. This is known as the indexing. So you can use the indexing to create a vector from it, right? So here second element it's a 2, last element is 10. So just I will pick up a 2 to 10. So whenever you are working with the data, you need to use a extraction of a data. So at that time you need to work with the row and column. So that's why this matrix is very important, because many times you will plot it. You will plot all this variable. So to plot this variable, you need to extract the values. So you can extract the value by using the indexing. So you can use the any indexing command for the row and column. Okay, so this is a way to display the matrices. Just I will show you. For an example, I want to display the A that is equal to the 2, 4, space 6 with a space or comma. Last one that is 8, 20, 30, 30, end of a third row, 40, 50, 60, end of a third row, you can write a 70, 80 and 100. Fine. So you can define this matrices by using the space and by using the semicolon. So MATLAB automatically understand when there is a semicolon, MATLAB will be treated as the end of a row. So end of a row is what it will be shifted to the next row. So 2, 4, 6, it's a first row, 8, 20, 30, that is the second row, third row and fourth row. Okay, so you can work with this matrices. For an example, if you write a of anyone can tell me if I want to extract only the second column. So how I can extract the second column from it by using the in a 3x3 matrices. Just I want to pick up a second column only 4, 20, 50, 80. So how I can do this? Any participant can help me to write like this. What I should write to pick up a second column? Anyone? What I should write here? Any idea to pick up the second column? Just I want to pick up a second column from it. I want to pick up the values 4, 20, 50 and 80. Anyone can tell me how you can do this one? Any participant? Any idea how to write this? Okay, so just I will show you how you can write it. For an example, if you want to pick up a second column, so second column means what you need to pick up first in a MATLAB. It works with a row and column. So first you need to define your first character should be row. So second column means what I need to first extract all the row. So all row means what ke all row. For all row you can write a colon operator, and second element it's a column. So it will be a 4, 20, 50, 80. Right, so this will pick up a second column. For an example, if you want to pick up a first column, so you just write a this one. If you want to pick up a third, so you can write a third one. Now if you do the reversing, just I want to pick up a first row only. So just I will write a first 1 comma all column. Right, so just I will pick up a one row. Means what I want a first row element only, so that is a 2, 4, 6. I want to create a second row, so you can write a 2 comma this. You can create a comma 3 comma colon operator. Okay, so this will be the third means what it's a extraction of this. So you must know the extraction of the matrices. So this extraction of a matrice is very important, because many times when you have to deal or manipulate the data, so at that time you need to know how to extract the this variable, and it is very important because many of the application you need to work with the data. So it is a potential area. It is the potential area to work the matrices, to work with the polynomial, and how you can extract it, because it is because we need to deal with the data. So at that time this technique will be very much helpful to you. So you need to know the how to work with the matrices. Okay, but along with that, MATLAB provides some of the inbuilt function, and these functions are very important while you are working with the manipulations of the data. So for an example, zeros. So zeros means what MATLAB has created this function. So just I said previously, zero it's a function. So this function, for an example, I want to create a matrices of a 0 of 2 comma 2. Okay, so this will be 0 of 2 comma 2. So anyone can tell me why we are using this zeros, ones, why we are using it? There is a special importance to using of these zeros and ones of the in a data extraction. Any participant know it? Because it is very important. I will show you the one of the example, and I will let you know how you can use this pre-allocation vector. So pre-allocation vector is very important. So many times we are using this pre-allocation vector. This is known as the pre-allocation vector. So how pre-allocation vector is? See, zeros 2 comma 2 means what? Here I've created a matrices of a zeros of a 2 cross 2. Now how we can use it? Okay, I will show you how you can use it. So this is the my very simple. Here I've created a equal to zeros n comma m. N comma m means what? There is a n number of row, m number of columns. So I've created a initialization pre-allocation vector of a. So I've created a pre-allocation vector a with a zeros of a n comma m. Now I've created a I want to create this a of I comma j, that is equal to 1 divided by I plus j. So I've used a equal to the zeros n comma m matrices as a pre-allocation vector. Pre-allocation vector has a special importance in a data manipulation. So at that time we need to use the zeros and ones of the matrices. Okay, so at that time you have to use it. So this is a function. Actually this function is created by a MATLAB has created this function. So this is a zeros. Now ones, there is a one more function, it's a ones of, for an example, 3,3. So this is a pre-allocation vector, sorry, ONS. One minute, I will check the spell of it. It's a ones, yeah, ONES, it's a 3,3. So it's a unity vector, it's a unity of a 3x3. So it is also very important data manipulation pre-allocation vector. So it is used in a data manipulation. This is a random generator. So it is very important. For an example, if you want to plot the data with some random value, so at that time you have to use it random. For an example, just I am using a random of 2,3. So I want to generate a random vector of a 2,3. So at that time it will use it. Okay. Another thing, just I will show you the random of 1. So it will create a random values. Every time it will generate a random error. It's a 0.5469, second time it's a 0.9575, 0.96. So it is used for the calculations. So for an example, if you want to work with some random generation number, so at that time this application is very important. So MATLAB has also created this random function. So random function means what? Every time it will generate a random number. So in a harmonics calculation we are using this random generator. Okay, so this will generate a random function. So this is nothing but random means what? RAND, that is a uniformly distributed random numbers. It is a normally distributed, means what? Your number will be normally distributed. It will be equal in a length. So that is known as the normalized. It is known as the RAND. It's another function. Now diagonal, if you want to find out the diagonal, so means what? In many of the data extraction we need to use the diagonal element. So at that time the MATLAB has created the function like a DIAG. It's a diagonal of a matrix. Now SIZ, if you want to know the size of the or dimension of the array, so this is the command. This is the function which is created by this MATLAB. Length. So length is very important because while you are using the plotting, this command is very important. Length will return a length of that vector. Okay, so just these two are, for an example, just I am writing a length of ANS. ANS means what? The given answer 0.141. So it will tell you it is a only there is a one value, means what? Only there is a one variable. So that is written as the length. Length means what? Maximum number of element in that particular vector. For an example, if I am writing this vector, it's a 0, 0.1, 0.5 and 1. Okay, so if I write a size of P, size will define the dimension. So this will a 1 cross 4, there is a 1 row 4 column. But if I write a length, so length means what? Maximum number of element in that particular vector. So there will be the 4. So there will be the 4. There is a 4 element in a vector. So it length will return the maximum number of element in that particular vector. So this is also important function by using the MATLAB. So this is known as the zeros. It's a pre-allocation. Ones, it's also pre-allocation. This is used to plot for the random generation number. This is also a normalized random generation. This is used to extract the diagonal element from the matrices. This will return the dimension of the array or the matrices. This will return the length of any vector. So it is very important. I will show you the use of the length in a graphics plotting. Okay, because at that time we must have a two same x and y data. At that time this macros is very important. Okay, the another capability of a graphics is it's a very important. Means what? If you want to plot any graph, so at that time it is very useful. So many of you, for an example, many of you are using for the plotting. It's a powerful tool of a MATLAB. Means what? Plotting, it's a powerful tool of a MATLAB and you can use it. So MATLAB offers a log plot also, semi-log also, bar chart, stem. Stem means what? It will be in the form of a digital, a polar contour, mesh, and circle. So this all also plots are available. Okay, now I will show you a simple example for the plotting. So this is the example of a plotting. It is known as the 2D plotting. Now what is the important in a plotting command? For an example, if you have a two vector x equal to 0 colon pi by 30 colon 2 into pi. Okay, I have a one x vector and I want to plot a sine of x. So just I have written a sine of x value. Okay, so to plot anything, you need to remember both the axis number should be same. Means what length of the axis should be same. So here my x axis it's having a column 61, total 61 element. 62 element will be there. Your sine x must be having the same number of element. Okay, so just I will check it. I will check the length of x. So length of x will show the number of element. It's a 61. Length of your sine of x, I will check with the sine of x. This is also 61. So you can easily plot it. So now you can use the command plot. It's a command to plot between x and y data. So here you can write a x comma sine of x value with a some color also. For an example, I want to color with a red. So this will gives the plotting of the x versus sine. Just I will rerun it. Yeah, so this is my plotting. I will grid on. Okay, so here your x and y data must be same for the plotting. If your x and y data is not matching at the time, it will solve the error. So I will show you. For an example, your x that is equal to the 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. There is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 element, and your y that is equal to 1, 5, 10, 20. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now right now if I plot x comma y, it shows it's a error using the plot. It shows that vector must be of a same length. Vector of the means what vector length must be same for the plotting. So you need to check the length of the x and y. So if you check with the length of x, this will be there is a 5 element in x, but in a y there is a 4. So you cannot plot a 5 cross 4. Sorry, you must have the 5 element. So any doubt with this? Any participant is having any doubt with this plotting? So you need to remember here your x it's a 0 to 2 pi. So x vector must have the same element of a y. So you can plot x comma y comma r. So here plot it is a command to plot the variable. So you know you can plot between a two variables. So I have written here x comma y. So it will plot between the x and y. After that there is a y1. There is another vector which is a sine of x plus 2 pi by 3. X plus 2 pi by 3 means what? There is a x of a sine of x means what x is given. Now I want to calculate a sine of 120 degree. So sine of 120 degree means what? The fundamental wave is x. So it will create the another wave with a 120 degree apart. So I have used a y1. Another I have used a sine of x plus 4 pi by 3. So that will be the 240 degree. So I want to plot a sine of fundamental 120 degree and 240 degree. So you can easily plot with this command plot of x comma y. Plot of x comma y with a different color. So this is the graph. I have used it. Okay, this is the graph with all sine curve. Right, so you need to plot a different x, y1, y2, and y1, y1, y2. It's a different value of x. So you can plot it, but only the command is you need to remember the length of a vector must be same for the plotting. Okay. After that method, it is also known as the 2D plotting. Okay, another thing. So here there is the another thing. For an example, you want to plot a two different vector. So here first one y that is equal to t. And here t is given, t must be greater than or greater than 0 and must be less than or equal to 1. And second one, your y1, second one, that is equal to the 1 by t1, and at that time your it should be between the 1 to 6, means what, this is between 0 to 1. You need to plot a t. Second, you need to plot a 1 by t. Actually, you should plot a 1 by t, and t must be from 1 to 6. Its a length is given. So we need to plot both this vector. Okay, so how you can plot it? Very simple. First, we need to define the value of t. So here I have to define a t1 and t2 for an example. So t1 and t2, and if I use t1 and t2 as a t, so it is given okay, t1 is nothing but it is a 0 to 1. So you can for a good readability of your graph, you can plot s number of values. So here I have taken 1,000 values between a 0 and 1. So for that the command is linspace. Linspace, what is the meaning of a linspace? It will equally create the length of a vector from 0 to 1 with that n number. So here 0 to 1 I want 1,000 values. So you can create a t1 with a 0 to 1 with 1,000 values. Similarly, I want to plot a t with a 1 to 6. So between 1 to 6 also I have created 1,000 value. So I have written a 1 comma 6 comma 1,000 value. Okay, now y1 that is equal to t1, y2 that is equal to 1 by t2. Okay, 1 by t2 means what? That is the same vector. Now t is nothing but it is a t1 t2, y that is equal to y1 y2, and so we have a two values t which is a combined of t1 t2. T1 t2 is a 0 to 1 and 1 to 6. Your y that is equal to the between a two value of a corresponding value of a t, because y is nothing but it is a t1 t2 only. Okay, so t2 is 1 by y2 is 1 by t2. So we have a y vector also. You need to remember both the vector must have the same length. T and y must have same length. So to plot it, we must have the same length. So if you plot it, you will get this graph. Okay, I will show you. Yeah, this is the graph. So you can see the graph. Right, so you will be having this graph between so it's a first it's a 0 to 1, second one that is a 1 to 6, and two different vector. It's a first one, it's a t, and second one is 1 by t. So you can draw this kind of a 2D plotting also. So this is the graphics facility using the MATLAB. Third one, that is the have you seen this kind of figure in a MATLAB? Anyone? Can you tell me? Have you seen this figure in a MATLAB? Have you seen this kind of figure in a MATLAB? Anyone?
Yes, sir. Actually, I have used fuzzy toolbox, and in that also this kind of figure
Okay, ma'am,
comes.
yeah. So it is known as the, actually the name of this figure, that's what it is known as the membrane. It is a membrane, and MATLAB has a 16 types of a different membrane. Membrane means what? This is all membrane function. So this is a membrane function, and MATLAB has a 1 gen 16 means what? Membrane of 16. So membrane of 16. Just I will show you. So this is all different figure. Means what? It is use the membrane. Just you need to write a correct word, membrane. So just I will show you. It's a membrane. Okay, for an example, I want to plot a membrane 16. Only first 12 membranes are available, so you can plot it. Yeah, so this is the membrane function actually. So you may came across different kind of this images. So this is known as the membrane function. So this this is the example of a subplot. For an example, I've used a subplot. Now, what is the meaning of a subplot? So subplot means what? This is a one figure window. Now I want to divide this figure window into the subplot of 2 comma 2 comma. So there should be a 2 row, 2 column, and in that you can find the ith means what? First. So your whenever you are writing I means what? That will be the 1. So it will occupy in a 2 cross 2 matrices first reserve space. So your first reserve space for the membrane of 1. if you write membrane of 2 means for that this is a subplot 2. Subplot 2 means what? That will be in a 2 comma 2 matrices, second reserve space should be for the membrane of 2. In a 2 cross 2 matrices, if you write a 2 third figure, your third figure should be membrane of 3. Fourth figure should be the membrane of 4. So this is a example of a subplot. So this is a subplot means what? If you want to plot a n number of plotting in a single figure window, so you can use a subplot command. So this is the example of a membrane, or you can use as a 3D plotting. Okay, now MATLAB also provide this kind of a subplot facility in a single command window. You can plot n number of figure. You can divide into the row, column, and index, that particular index, and you can use the subplot for it. Okay, so MATLAB also provide the log, but we are not using the log. Semilog we are using. For an example, if you are using the Bode plot for some control application, we are using this plot YY. Many chemical engineers are using the plot YY. So between two reaction, they want to check anything, so that we are also using the plot YY function. Plot YY means what? You will be having a 2 YY axis, and you want to plot a similar X value. So this is known as the plot YY. Semilog, it's a Semilog X, it's another graph. So Semilog we are using for the control system application. Okay, another, that is a surf. So you know that surf is measured to find out the maximum temperature of that particular range. So we are using the surf. We are also using it 3D plot. So we are also using the 3D plot for that contour application. We use a contour application for a field electromagnetic effect. So we are also using this contour application for it. So this is also widely used: contours, surf, polar. Polar means what? You can find out any coordinates from that. So we are using the polar coordinates also. So this is a graphic capability in a MATLAB. And last one, very important, the programming part. So in a programming part, there is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 types of the flow control statement. Flow control statements means what? You can control the your algorithm by using this 5 flow control statement. So you know the if else statement, switch statement, for loop, while loop, and break statement. So these five kinds of flow control statements are used. This is the general expression. This is the general syntax for the if. Simple if means what? If you are putting some expression by using the if first one is not satisfied, you have to go for the else if. Means what? First is not true, you will go for the second one. Else if second is not true, you go for the else. So this is a flow control statement. Flow control statement means what? It is just kind of the you are putting in some constraint. If first statement is not true, next one else if else if is not true, you by default you will be having the else condition. So this is a selection if else if. This is known as the if else if command. Okay, so you can write like this. For an example, if you are giving the I and j, so if you are giving input I and j, if your I and input both are same, your a of I, j will be a 2. If it is means what? If your I is greater than equal to j, means what? If your I is greater than or equal to the value of j, you can put a of j equal to 2. If both these conditions are not met, you can directly write a of ij, that is equal to 0. So this is kind of a constraint. You can put this kind of a constraint in your algorithm also. Second one, you can use this if else statement. If your attendance is greater than 90% and grade greater than 6, you can consider as a pass. So this kind of else if statement, you can use it. So this is known as the if else if condition. So you know it very well. I think most of those who are using the C, they know the if else if condition. Switch case, this is very widely used in many of these applications. Switching, we are switching the expression, we are changing the selection. Okay, so here we are taking, for an example, here there is a one display statement. For an example, you are switching the value of x. So you user need to give a two input x and y. If user are giving the input, so first case, if you are taking the first case, if your x is equal to your x is greater than y, you can display x is greater than y. if these two conditions are not met, if you written otherwise, you can display, instead you can display x is less than y. Okay, so you can put any selection. So this is among the selection. So this kind of a flow control statement you can also write like this. For loop, there is very important. For an example, if you want to repeat some calculation for n number of specific number of time, so for that specific number of time, you can use the for loop. Okay, for an example, I want to print the value of x is given. So you can print for as number of times. So for that, you can use the for loop, and this is very important. Okay, we are widely use the for loop also. While means what? It is a repeated statement, but when your condition is satisfied, you will be out of loop. So the while it's a repeated statement in an indefinite number of times. So we are using the while statement also. Break, break means what? If you want to break the execution of your algorithm, and if you want to come out from that loop, so we are using the break. So break will terminate the execution, and it will stop the process. So for that, we are using the break statement. So this is all known as the programming or flow control in a MATLAB. So this is one example I will share with you. You can try with it. Okay, and the solutions are also given. And those who want to learn the MATLAB, this is one of the some important books. Chapman J. Chapman J. It's a MATLAB programming for the engineers. This is very good book. You can refer for the beginners for the MATLAB. The another one, this is very important, JP Denier and SR Otto. It's a numerical method. So if you want to learn the MATLAB step by step, line to line, word to word, so you can refer this introduction to programming and numerical in a MATLAB. Third one, Brian, this is very important book, Essential MATLAB for the Engineers and Scientists. Okay, so I've taken, I've used all this book, and this is very good book. This Brian is also Essential MATLAB is also very good book. Second one, Introduction to Programming. Those who are a new one to the MATLAB, or those who are the beginners, they can use this Introduction to Programming in numerical method, because if you want to learn the MATLAB, you can start with the numerical method. So we have a second session. In afternoon session, we will be having a numerical method. So if you want to learn the MATLAB, you can start with a step-by-step numerical method. Because if you are good enough in a numerical method by using the MATLAB, you may have a good power, good command over the MATLAB. So you can use any of this MATLAB book for the further explanation. You can use it. And thank you. If you have any doubt, you can unmute yourself and you can ask to me. But the basic objective and motivation for today's session was to get a know-how you can use the MATLAB, what are the different capability, how you can use the MATLAB for a different application. But ultimately, the last thing, last but not least, it depends on the user, because it's a programming tool, and any software has a one only philosophy. Only you have to do the practice. It is only the success mantra to work with any of the software. So you need to continuously work with any software. Then and then you will be having a good idea. So I request all the participants. I will appreciate your question if you have any question. If you have any question, you can raise it. You can tell me. But whatever the book I suggested, it is already available in a net. You can use it, but it is a very good book, and you can start referring it. For civil engineering. Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Actually, for motivating us to use the MATLAB in engineering applications, and I also want to tell you that we will surely go through these books, and I also want to explore the things which you have explained to us. And one more thing, it was an informative session, and you have explained each and every small commands very nicely. So once again, thank you so much, sir.
One thing, madam, one thing I want to convey, ma'am, this is a programming. So many of the means what I've seen many of the civil engineers, those who are doing the research, they are also using the MATLAB wisely. But how you can start? Anything you can start with a little step. So if you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
start with a single step, yeah. So because I've read this book more than 10 times, and I'm very fascinated about this book, Introduction to the Programming and Numerical Methods in MATLAB. Because in that book they have given a simple step. For an example, if you are writing a for loop, so they are explaining for each iteration how your output will be there. So I sincerely request all these participants, you start step by step. Every day you make a resolution. I will at least use a 1 page per day. So I think after the 6 months, you will be having a very good command over this matter. And it is essential to learn any software, because whenever you are doing the research at that time, it will be very useful.
Yes, yes. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Good afternoon, sir. I have one
Yeah,
question.
yeah, ma'am.
Uh, Sir, little bit elaborate the membrane function.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
membrane function is utilized?
yeah. See, actually, membrane is nothing but this is the function created by the MATLAB. So for an example, just I will write for I equal to the, just I am giving this 1 to 12. Okay, subplot. Just I am creating a, this is a 4. So this will be a 3 comma 4 comma I. Right, a membrane membrane of I. Just I will show you, ma'am. See, why we are using this membrane? Membrane function is nothing but it will create, means what we are using. We are using as a pole and zero. Pole means what? The value of, for an example, the value of that particular point will be having some infinite value. So the membrane function, what it will shows the value at that particular coordinate. So for an example, at this particular coordinate, you can find the particular value x, y, and z. So MATLAB has created a membrane function. It is a membrane function. So basically in electrical engineering, we are using for the pole and zeros of the transfer function. And by from the poles and zero, we are find out the stability. So we will calculate the value of a pole. For an example, if any pole that goes to the infinity, so you can find out how you can take this pole to a some extent, and you can find out the stability. So this is a membrane function. Membrane function means what? It is a coordinate value. Means what? It will shows you the value of that particular point in a 3 dimension. So you will find, for an example, at this particular value, the value of this x, y, and z coordinate. And in a MATLAB, means what? In many of this MATLAB book, you will find this kind of this figure. So this is a membrane function. Actually, membrane function means what? It will find the particular point. At that particular point, what is the value of coordinate? So basically, as a electrical engineering, we are using for the pole zero application, and from that we are find out the stability. But in your domain, I do not have the much idea how you are using this membrane function. But this is one of the graphical representation of a 3D plot also. So when you 3D plotting, whenever you are having a more than 3 axes, or when you have to find out a more than 3 data, so at that time it will be very useful. So you can find out this. So basically we are using for the pole zero application, and from that we are find out the stability of this. But actually it is nothing but it is a it will shows the magnitude at that particular. For an example, at this point, what is the magnitude of this x, y, z? So this is a membrane function.
Okay.
But for your civil engineer application, I need to go for the details.
Thank you so much, sir.
Any other doubt from the participant? See, we know the MATLAB, many times we are using the MATLAB, but we are not. For an example, as I have shown you in a command window. So command window has enormous power. Everything you can do with a command window, but many times we know, for an example, we are giving some exercise to the student. So many times student will find the output in a script. They are finding the output. So at that time they do not know where your answer will be. So the importance of this four windows is very important. But at this, so the important thing is the command window is very important, because if you know how to use the command window, you can extract any array from it. So you must know the uses of a command window. Also command history and workspace. Workspace is very important. Why we believe workspace it's an important tool? Because you can plot the array from this workspace variable.